Hello and welcome back to AGB Art. In today's video, I'm going to demonstrate how to mix Liquitex High Gloss Varnish with water to create a very shiny seal on a beautiful painting. If you enjoy the video, please press the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. This is a gorgeous Dutch pour that I did about 5 weeks ago. I just love the cells and the gold. I painted this as a gift for one of my husband's co-workers. And now it's time to varnish it, get it packaged up, and get it to the office. Here I'm showing you the date on the back, which I painted it on November the 4th, and I wanted to wait at least 3 weeks before touching it, and we are well past that November 25th date. I've got all of my supplies waiting. Here is my varnish, and I'm trying to show you that there's barely any in there. That's why I'm going to use the scale today. I want to be sure that 50% of it is the varnish and 50% is water. That's a food scale that I got on Amazon, and I will be measuring in milliliters. First, you have to turn it on. Make sure it's in milliliters. Put the cup on the scale, and then zero out. Now I'm going to pour the Liquitex varnish into the cup. You can see that top is pretty sticky. And I have 20 milliliters of varnish. Now you could add the water directly to it, but as you'll see when I get the next cup, it's really hard to measure 20 exactly. So I'm going to use a different cup to add water to it. Now, of course, because I'm recording this, it doesn't go as planned. No matter what I do, I can't get 20 milliliters of water in that cup. I think if I hadn't been recording it, it would have worked perfectly. I'm not comfortable with going over. Normally, if I'm mixing paints, it wouldn't matter here or there, but because this is varnish, it's a gift, I want it to be right. I really want to get as close to 20 milliliters of water as I can. And what I end up doing is accepting the fact that it's going to be 19. If I can't get to the 20, I'm going to go a little below. Now I'm pouring the water into the varnish, and I will stir with my tongue depressor. Once you've given the varnish a good stir, you want to pour it into a plastic reclosable container. Then you can add your lint-free cloth to the container, and because it snaps tight and it's airtight, the cloth will stay pliable. This is a lint-free cleaning cloth that I picked up at the dollar store. In the future, I will not use a cloth that has any color in it, and perhaps buy a white t-shirt to cut up to use. You'll see as I'm varnishing this painting, it's missing one of the push pins, and so it tilts. But that's okay because I'm not pouring a layer of liquid on top of it and hoping it will self-level. I really think the first layer of your varnish is probably the most important one. Make sure that you wipe off or dust off anything that might have fallen on the canvas. Then you'll take the cloth and make sure it's very wet. I do squeeze some of the liquid out, but it is still very full of varnish. And I'm doing some salad plate size circles all around the canvas. Like I said, this first layer to me is really important. This is where you would see brush marks. I thought I could blow that little speck off, but nope, had to have the finger. So I think those little circles keep it from not having to see the strokes within the varnish. As you add more and more layers, it doesn't really matter how you do it, but I just feel like this very first one sets the stage for how your canvas is going to look. So once I've done the circles, I just do these really light wipes across it. And be sure to get the sides as well as the edge of the canvas. For some reason, sometimes I forget the edge. Just doing that light wipe. And now going to do the sides again. It takes me maybe a minute and a half. And then I leave the painting. Yes, this is coat number 1. I'm going to leave the canvas for 10 minutes, and I'm back now with coat number 2. Same procedure. I've got the cloth fairly damp, and I'm doing little circles all around it. This is the video sped up, so that's why it looks like I'm working very quickly. Make sure you get the edges. You can tilt the canvas to make sure that you've covered it all. And then we'll wait 10 minutes before the next coat. Ten minutes later, we're putting on coat number 3. Same procedure. Get the cloth kind of damp, wipe little circles all over the canvas, make sure you get the edges and the sides, and then let it go. Now I don't have a recording of the 4th layer, but I did actually do 4 coats last night with 10 minutes in between each, and after the 4th one, I let it sit all night. Here I am the next morning, and you can see there's a little bit of shine on the canvas. If I were going to leave it as a matte finish, I would have stopped here. But this is coat number 5, going on with small circles and the edges again. I like the finish, but for this particular piece, I wanted to have more shine, so I'm going to just keep adding layers to it. And like I said, I'm currently putting on coat number 5. This is a couple of hours later, and the canvas currently has 6 layers of varnish on it, and that varnish was Liquitex High Gloss and water with a 50-50 split. And I'm going to move the canvas for you so you can see how incredibly nice and shiny it is. It looks really good. I'm really pleased with it. And in a moment, I'm going to point out what happens if you don't pop all the air bubbles. You will see that I have a place in there that has a popped air bubble. It looks like a crater. And what I ultimately do is I take an acrylic paint pen and I do a little bit of embellishing in the gold, and I add extra gold into that little crater. Here's the finished piece. I hope you enjoyed my video, and you'll give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate you watching.